Thank you for joining us this morning. It seems interesting every time I plan a press conference, we end up with some competition, but that's fine. I want to thank you for being here this morning. Earlier this year, I introduced the Violence Against Pregnant Women Act to address a critical fault in our criminal justice system. In recent Canadian history, over 80 women have been killed while pregnant. Each of these women were killed by men who knew that they were pregnant. Their killers intentionally sought to do harm to the pregnant woman, and in most cases, to end her pregnancy. Many other Canadian women have also faced assaults that harm them in the vulnerable state of pregnancy. It's well established that the risk of violence against women increases when they're pregnant. However, our justice system is failing to consistently take these actions into account, and it's time to change that. The Violence Against Pregnant Women Act will amend the criminal code to ensure that the act of knowingly assaulting a pregnant woman and causing physical or emotional harm to a pregnant woman are considered aggravating circumstances during the sentencing process. Judges would be required to consider these new aggravating factors when issuing criminal sentences. You know what, you guys, Canada needs this Violence Against Pregnant Women Act. We need to ensure that criminals who attack or kill a pregnant woman can be sentenced appropriately by our courts. The sentence should match the crime. I'm also humbled and very honored this morning to be joined by individuals who understand more than anyone the pain of this immense loss. My friend Jeff Durham lost Cassie and Molly. Cassie was his partner, and Molly was the child they were expecting, and Cassie was 7 months pregnant when an intruder was in her home, someone that actually she and Jeff both knew, and in that moment of being discovered, he beat her to death, and obviously at the same time ended the life of Molly. And Jeff has lived with that circumstance and been very frustrated with the reality that when the sentence was brought down, this individual was convicted and sentenced. There was no recognition of the loss of Molly. Mr. and Mrs. Chan and Sherry Goberton and their family are here, and they've all been fighting very bravely for years in search of justice for their loved ones. So they've joined me today in hope that Parliament will make a bold stand for women who have faced violence and abuse when they were pregnant. So I know that Sherry has a statement that she would like to bring forward at this time.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. Hi, Jeff. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to talk a little bit about my daughter, Ariana, and my granddaughter, Sarah. They were murdered on April 7th, 2017. At the time, Ariana was 26 years old, and she was 9 months pregnant at the time with her daughter, Asara. The day that we found out and the day that she was killed, no charges were laid to the individual who murdered my daughter. When we had the sentencing in 2019, my family and I held a rally at the Oshawa Courthouse in order to bring life to the fact that my granddaughter was an actual human being. She was 9 months at the time her mom gave birth to her, and when we cremated both of them, I held my granddaughter, and she was a human. She was 7.5 pounds. She had the most perfect features, long legs, long arms. She would have been just as beautiful as her mom. And for the law to tell me that he is not responsible for her death is wrong. So I do appreciate what Kathy is doing with bringing forward this to Parliament to make sure that justice is served for all these women who have passed away and their children has already passed away. For us, we grieve 2 people, not just one. We grieve the life of my daughter and my granddaughter, who was a person. And to think that he is just getting away with one is not right. So for the 80 women who have passed on, may they rest in peace with their babies, and hopefully some justice is served with respect to deterring the sentence, using this now to help with the sentencing process. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. And Jeff would like to say a few words as well.
Hi there, thanks. I just want to say that I was witness to Cassie's choice to bring Molly into this world, and that this wasn't her choice. And to argue that there shouldn't be representation for what she did choose isn't the pro-choice position. I think that everybody sees that on the surface, and then maybe they choose where they go from there. But this wasn't Cassie's choice. And I just would like to ask anybody that takes an opposing position to acknowledging this problem, how comfortable are they with that fact? Or maybe they actually believe that these women chose this. How does their brain work when they see this? Thanks.